The information and discussions shared on The Love Show are from personal accounts and experiences. Listener discretion is advised. This episode contains explicit language and frank discussions of adult themes or sexual content that may not be suitable for all audiences. Any communications, considerations, or recommendations are not a substitute for medical, psychological, or licensed professional help in wellness or recovery. Please seek a qualified practitioner regarding specific needs or concerns. We thank you and hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to The Love Show, an exploration of love, romance, relationships, and sacred sexuality. This is your invitation to dive deeper into your innermost self and strengthen the bonds of love and intimacy. Jennifer Rose is an international psychic medium, transformational guide, channel, writer, and healer. With the help of fellow trailblazers, Jennifer's mission is to combine timeless wisdom and modern spiritual awareness to transform and evolve humanity, all while encompassing healthy transformative love, epic beauty, and divine connection. Now here is your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Pardon me. I had an echo, so I had to pull my AirPods out at the last second there, too. Welcome to The Love Show. I'm Jennifer Rose, and we are on the Sacred Spiral Network. I am so excited to have my special guests and good friends of all of yours, Michael Zinn and his lovely wife, Janice Tverberg, joining me here today so that we can share their love story, too. So if you're a romantic at heart like I am, this is the hour for you. So I hope you all are finding that we're doing well and starting off a new week ready to get things going. And I hope you all had a beautiful weekend as well, too. So here in California, it's sunny in the low 70s, so no complaint over here. We're happy to see that. And I'm going to go ahead and start saying hi to everybody while we're here. I see Miss Carol Johnson has joined us. Welcome, Carol. Good to see you. My dear friend Nancy Muratalla has joined us as well. Hi, Queen. How are you, Nancy? Thank you for being here as well. And hi, Evelyn. Good to see you too. Thank you for always being here and supported. Great to see you, Evelyn, over there in Solvang. And the beautiful Jennifer MC. Hello, Jennifer McCormick. Thank you for being here. Good to see you too. My room is very hot all of a sudden, so spirit must be in the house because it was fun. And then all of a sudden it got really, really hot. Hello, Kelly Washino. Nice to see you too. Thank you for joining us. Arnie Layton, my friend, thank you for joining us too, coming on and always supporting. Really, really appreciate you. I see the Fairy Queen, Fran Pierce is here as well. Welcome, Fran. Thank you for joining us and supporting. Really appreciate it. Diana, hello. Thanks to you for coming on as well. Good to see you as well. Hey, Fran. Good to see you. So thanks for all coming. I really appreciate you all. All right, my friends. I only have one announcement. We have many great shows going on the whole week. But this Friday on Embracing Infinity, my sister show, I'm having Nigel G joining me as my guest. He's returning, and we're talking all about the telepathic connection and connection to spirit. So that's going to be a really great show. So you're all invited to come and join me for that too. And I will be posting for that later this week. So looking forward to seeing you all for that as well. Hello, Labyrinth Criterion. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you. Hello. Okay. Good to see you. Thanks. We are happy to have you here. Thanks, Diana, too. So, okay, everybody. Here's what we got going on today. Is it coincidence or written in the stars? Today, we're going to dive into a romance years in the making. Join us as we sit down with Janice and Michael, whose journey began as co-workers, only for life to pull them in different direction. And after years apart, fate stepped in to bring them back together, leading to a reunion that changed everything, and a walk down the aisle they never saw coming. Whether you're a hopeless romantic or a believer in timing, this episode is a beautiful reminder that's what meant for you will always find its way back. So I think that this is the perfect time for this lovely reminder, a nice soft show with love and fate and destiny. So let's bring on my couple of destiny, Michael Zinn and his beautiful wife, Janice Tverberg. Hi, Kim Princess.
Hello.
Oh,
No.
What's happening? Oh, I got to peek out from behind the words.
Oh,
I'm going to attempt to put my AirPods back in again and see if I can get sound without. All right. Hey, it worked. We were playing the intro and I was hearing two of everything and I was like, well, that's not going to work. So, okay, we're back to normal now. Hello, Kim Princess and Mandy Johnson. Thank you for joining us. So, how are you two doing today? How is your evening going? I know it's late for you, so thank you for being with us late at night.
Oh, amazing. I'm super excited to be here.
good.
I mean, I just want to say hello to everybody too. I love the community that's been created, the support, and all the people that show up. Specifically Arnie, because I can remember meeting Arnie, and it's like it's just this kind of vibe when you meet somebody and you kind of mutually feel supportive of each other, right? He was
Mhm.
selling his tarot cards at one of these shows, and it was just like immediately I was like, oh man, I wish you the best of luck with what you're doing. It was like you feel it, and then the same way he feels about the things I'm doing. And I just love that. I mean, so hello everybody, and thank you guys for always showing up and bringing your juice.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And talk about fate and destiny and how it's brought all of us together in this beautiful like web of like love, and we're all this one big like spiritual family spread out across the country, across the pond, all of that. So my brother from
Totally.
another mother. Oh,
Totally.
that's so sweet. That's love. That's love. All right. Okay.
Nice.
I know everybody knows you, but just in case we have anyone brand new here that's just getting to know you, I'm going to read a little bit about you both and then we'll go ahead and get started. All
Cool.
right. Michael Zinn and Janice Tverberg are partners in life and in purpose, blending creativity, intuition, and a shared curiosity about consciousness into everything they do. Michael is a visual content producer, creator, director, and host of the live stream of consciousness, where he explores the question, what is consciousness? Through conversations with a wide range of guests, from mediums and healers to artists and thinkers. With a background in visual storytelling, immersive environments, and media production, Michael brings a grounded, real world perspective to topics that often live just beyond it. Michael is also on the Sacred Spiral Network on Tuesdays on Holding Space, and our beautiful Nancy Martella is going to be his guest tomorrow. And he's been on Embracing Infinity 2 or 3 times, so you can go back onto the Sacred Spiral YouTube channel and see replays of our show together, where we've gone into your artwork and all things magical with you, Michael.
Totally.
Now, Miss Janice, known as the Quiet Healer, is a Reiki master and psychic medium who offers intuitive guidance and energy healing through her work at thequiethealer.com. With a calm and compassionate presence, she helps people reconnect with themselves, navigating life's transitions and find clarity in moments that feel uncertain. Together, they create a unique dynamic, bridging the creative and the intuitive, the seen and the unseen, whether through conversations, collaborations, or shared experiences. Their work invites others to explore their own awareness, trust their inner knowing, and recognize that there may be more to life than what meets the eye. And again, you can find Janice at thequiethealer.com and Michael at photosynthesis.com with a Z, and the live stream of consciousness.com. Instagram, we have The Quiet Healer and the Live Stream of Consciousness, and on YouTube, The Quiet Healer and the Live Stream of Consciousness. And all of that for you all is also in the advertisements on both on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you're looking for them, that will help you find them as well. And we will be putting that across the screen. So now we can know where to find you both too. So, okay, my
Thank
friends,
you.
let us start at the beginning. We started off as coworkers, not knowing you were going to be married down the road and in the future. So let's start there, and then I'm going to hand it to you. Hi, Sarah.
Cool. You want to start? Tell it from your side.
Um, so we worked at an ad agency together. He was the art side, I was AE. Um, and there was like a connection, right away. I mean, an attraction, I should say, right away. Similar tastes in music, art, and the things we like to do for fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel
You two
like
are so cute. You two are so cute.
um it was a corporate kind of environment, cubicles and pretty formal. It wasn't very casual. So, I think our relationship was formal, like Janice said. I think there was an attraction, but we
Mhm.
were pretty respectful to each other. There was no romance happening at that time, just kind of maybe lingering glances or something.
So,
Um,
so there was a sparkle, but we didn't go on dates or anything as of yet. Is
yeah,
that correct?
exactly,
Okay, okay.
exactly.
But the
Yeah,
sparkle was there, so it was like almost like it's almost like a seed of what's to come. But we don't always
hmm.
know that when it happens, right? We just go,
Right,
"Ooh, who's that?"
for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I guess I don't know if you want to say, Janice got involved in a relationship, and
Well, I was in a relationship.
oh, you well,
No, I was. I was,
when I met you, you were already in a relationship.
yeah.
So
Oh, no
I
wonder you
guess,
didn't date.
yeah. So that, I
you
mean,
were
that's
you
what
were
that was
being
the respect, right? That was the
you were
respect.
being no wonder. Even though there was a spark, we're like, okay, no, she's taken. Not going to go there.
Yes,
Okay, got it.
yes. And I guess things changed after I left that job.
Yeah.
So I had been working with my brother um, on a project. We have a company that does digital signage,
Mhm.
and it was like time for me to leave that job and then go full time working for my own company. So I left the advertising agency at that point. And that's where we kind of went in different directions. And Janice, take it from there.
There was a separation point. I mean, we went into different directions. I was in a marriage, had a child. Um, that didn't work out, and then down the line, we Michael and I reconnected, and then drifted apart, and then reconnected. So it was like I was on a very interesting journey. I've always been a medium, but I was actually honing my skills and then became a Reiki master,
Mhm.
and I needed headshots, and he happens to take headshots. And so it was one of those where I also wanted to practice and while I was building my business. So we decided to barter. Um, and then at that time we connected.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
So it
so
was a little bit back and forth, but fate,
yeah.
what do you want to call it? Fate, the universe, the
That's
divine
right.
has its own timing of when things are just right. But it's like they seem to keep showing you something's going on, but the timing, you had your contract to fulfill with your former relationship, but now we're single. We're both single. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, we were friends on Facebook. So
Okay.
even though we kind of went our separate ways, we remained connected. We weren't like, I don't think necessarily active friends on Facebook, but we were connected that way. So you know how you can see every once in a while what somebody's doing, what they're up to. So we kind of, I guess, we were aware of each other. Um, and like Janice said, she kind of was going through Reiki and doing her thing to, go in the direction she needed to go. And I was doing photography. She had seen that on Facebook that I was, doing photography, and she reached out one day and said, "Hey, how would you feel about bartering? Like, I do Reiki and I'll
Like a
do some
trade.
Reiki and
Hmm.
you do some headshots for me because I want to do Reiki professionally, and I need to do some headshots and I need to kind of get a website together and that kind of stuff." And I was like, okay. I mean, I'd been into, I think I had started kind of my spiritual journey. A good friend of mine, Stephen Durante, had taken like hypnotherapy and started doing guided meditations. And so I had started, meditation was in my life. Um, I had experienced Reiki probably once or twice before that, but never anything like, um, you know, life changing, or like, I didn't have a moment with Reiki. It was more like meditation. It was very relaxing. You get into a meditative state, and so it was more like that. But when I went and I saw Janice, and Janice did Reiki on me, it was definitely different than anything I had experienced up until then. Um, and I guess I can be specific about a couple of things. There's a part in Reiki when the practitioner puts their hands on the side of your head. It's like a non-touch for people who don't aren't familiar with Reiki. It can be touch, but it's also non-touch, so it's an energetic thing. But she had her hands on the sides of my head. I was laying down on a table, and I felt like somebody had two huge conch shells like on each side of my head, like because I could hear the ocean, I could hear this white noise. I just heard,
Wow.
I just it was so evident. It was really kind of crazy. Um, and obviously that was one thing, but then the other thing that was really noticeable was when her hands were near me, I can feel heat coming off of her hands, as if she had placed them on like a sauna rock, or like was holding them up, when you hold your
Wow.
hands against a fire and you get your hands all warm,
Yeah.
and then you touch someone. Her hands were so hot, and it was definitely an amazing session of Reiki for me. And then, I mean, I don't know. I guess that was just an energetic connection, but then there was something after that where we said, "Hey, let's get together. Let's have a meal. Let's share some time together." And July 4th was coming up. And so we said, hey, let's get together for July 4th. There's a place nearby called Bald Hill, where they have the big fireworks thing. They have a concert. It's like a big amphitheater and outdoors, and they have a concert. And so we went there, and I mean, it was a normal kind of courtship. It wasn't like we've been together ever since, but it kind of was like we've been together ever since. I think energetically, I
Yeah.
mean, I had been in relationships before, and there was something different. There was definitely this feeling of connection. Um, and even though we're two kind of very different people, Janice is the quiet healer for a reason. She was kind of comes from this very introverted background and wallflower type, and I'm a musician. I play bass. I mean, I'm not like center of attention kind of guy, but I'm not an introvert so much,
Yeah.
you know. Um, so yeah, so I think it was an opposites attract kind of thing. And I think there was definitely a frequency thing, I mean, I'm a big believer in frequency. We talk about that stuff all the time. Um, and I think it was also like a phase of life thing, I think that both of us had been in places and been in relationships, and it was more about we were learning how to love ourselves. And I
Mm-hmm.
think, I think that's a super duper important key in having a successful relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we were both at that point. I don't think either one of us was looking to get involved or thought that we were gonna meet the one. I mean, I know I didn't think that, and I don't think Janice thought that either. But again, it's just there's just this kind of knowing, especially when you do love yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
Oh, that's a beautiful story, and it's, yeah, it is interesting because you have kind of like the opposites attract, yet there's all these other sort of compatibilities that come into. So it's very kind of soulmate ingredients too, is where some things seem very
for sure.
opposite, like the way that you were brought up and things like that. But then there's other things that are like, you know, remarkably and synchronistically,
Totally.
similar. And then you had these little serendipitous things happening too. So
Yeah.
that's pretty magical. I love your story too. And then um, now you've been and if I'm skipping anything, backtrack on maybe. But you've been married about a year. But this was kind of like an unplanned thing, right? Because we just went to travel. Is that correct?
The marriage was definitely unplanned. I mean, we had been together for 7 years, dating, and we had talked about being together. both of us are previously married, so it was like not a priority, right? It wasn't like, oh my God, we
Yeah.
got to get, we had both had the experience. Um, I think something that you said that, like there was these differences as far as like the types of people we are, but there was also these similarities. I think that's key there, right? So I think
Mhm.
our philosophies on life, our philosophies on how to treat other people, how to just kind of navigate through the world, I think is very similar. And I think that, yeah, I mean, I think that that's why it happened the way it did, right? So we were okay with not being married, like legally, right? That's really just a piece of paper. But spiritually, we already kind of had committed to each other, energetically, like we know we're going to be together, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when we were in Costa Rica, the spontaneity of making that decision was so easy. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, let's just do it. You know what I mean? There were a lot of circumstances that really just made it perfect. I
Mhm.
think besides the natural scape that we were in the middle of Costa Rica, in the middle of a jungle. Um, like we had to fly to Costa Rica and then take a second plane to like the middle of nowhere, and then a bus or a truck, a van, whatever, to this place. But it
Mhm.
was a week in the most beautiful place, and Davy Joe,
Ah.
who you see there, who married us, he's just this incredible guy who I knew. He was from Long Island. And he's just like he studies Sanskrit, and he's just so practiced in his own spiritual practice, which is based
Mhm.
on so many different things. Um, Such an amazing guy, and I knew he was ordained. So I was like, wait a second. I think the universe is telling me something here. Like we're here. Let's just do it. And actually, there's more to the story. I know I feel like I'm dominating the whole conversation, but um, previous to that decision, because we were just there to have a retreat and really go away. It was the first time Janice had ever been out of the country,
Other
uh,
than to Canada.
other than to Canada. Uh,
Than to Canada.
uh, but we were there to just really enjoy that. But that day, the day that we decided to do it, because we got married the next day, but the day that we decided to do it, we there was like an outing to a local waterfall, where you can actually climb up the waterfall and slide down. It's like a natural slide rock kind of
Mm.
thing. And it was a little bit of a hike, not too bad, the hike to get to the waterfall, but to get to the actual top of the waterfall to slide, you had to like swim across this. The waterfall filled into this like pond kind of thing, so you had to swim across the pond to this rock where this ladder was and climb up the ladder. And not everybody was doing it, only a couple of people, and I had to do it. So I swim across, I get to this ladder, I climb up, I'm like all winded, like it was a rough climb. And everybody's watching, and the energy is just amazing, everything's happening. And then I walk to the top of the waterfall. I'm like knee deep in the water is rushing by me, like I mean, you can imagine. It's just like a moment, like oh my God, this is happening, and trying to enjoy it and be in it and everything at the same time. And I'm about to like sit down and slide down the waterfall, and I take my glasses off for a second, and I'm like, all right, should I put them in my pocket, in my bathing suit? What should I do? And I'm like, nah, I'll be fine. And I put them back on, and I just go down the waterfall. And like the second I hit the water, instantly, the second I hit the water, it was just like bam, they fly off my head. Um, and and I just knew, I was like, I'm not getting those back. Like they're gone. um, and there was a guy with a diving mask there who was said he would try to help us, and it was just it was a moment that was really incredible for me, because it was like I'm not going to let this ruin the rest of my trip. Like I can just freak out right now and just, ruin the rest of my trip
Yeah, because you can't see
or
without your glasses. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, I can't see like 3 feet around me without my glasses. Yeah. So like I knew it was not going to be fun the rest of the time that I was there, but I also knew that it was my choice on how to respond. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And how to navigate. And I just was like, I blew it. I made a mistake. What am I going to do? I'm still alive. You know what I mean? I'm still in Costa Rica. I
Yeah.
might as well enjoy it. And so, Janice was amazing. Like, had to hold my hand back through the woods, and
Oh,
kind of guide me.
she was
Um,
your eyes.
she was my eyes, and literally spiritually and energetically, it was the universe trying to show me a different way to see.
Yeah.
Um, and we get back to the the place where the retreat is, and we get back into our room, and I'm just like settling down and processing this all, and I'm just like, I think we need to get married. Like, what do you think?
Oh,
Like, Davy Joe's amazing. Like, let's just do it. Like, what? Like, let's just do it. And she said, "Of course." And then so of course I had to go talk to Hardy. Hardy Patel he was like the facilitator, the main facilitator. Davey was one of the other. He was like he played the kirtan. He did a bunch of the different stuff too.
yeah.
Um, but Hardy, part of the retreat was a celebration for his sister's birthday. There we are cutting the cacao. I'll tell that part of the story too.
Oh,
Um,
it's like cutting the cake, but we're cutting the chocolate.
It's the cacao. It was a
Yes.
cacao. Like there was a cacao ceremony that we did after the wedding ceremony,
Oh,
and we were asked. They said, "Hey, we want you guys to bless the cacao," and it was like I had never blessed cacao before. It was like a new experience. It was amazing I knew what that meant, right? To bless something was just an energetic intention, and it was just. I think for me, like that whole experience from losing my glasses to cutting the cacao was amazingly energetic and transformative.
mm-hmm.
It was like I knew that I was the creator of my own reality, at that moment. And when I came back, that became the theme of the live stream of consciousness. It just kind of became the theme of
Yeah.
my message, right? You are the answer came after that, after I got back. I wrote that book, You Are the Answer, that just says, you know, why are you here? You're here to be you, to create
Mm-hmm.
whatever you are, you know.
Oh,
So
I love it. It's funny. Evelyn said the same thing. You're like, universe was showing me a different way to see. At the same time, Evelyn was writing that in the comments at the same time.
yeah,
So, talk.
it's so evident, it
Oh,
really
so
is.
cool.
Yeah, it really is
Wow.
evident. Yeah, for sure.
Wow, I love that. What a beautiful story. And hello to everybody who's joined us. Hello, Vivian and Lynn Juno and everybody else who's joined us. And they're having this lovely, camaraderie over in the comments over here. So
I
I'm
love that.
enjoying all the love that they're sharing, saying hi to each other. And thank you for putting the hashtag live as well, because that tells Facebook and the algorithms, that tells Facebook and YouTube that we're popular. So,
Tickle
so
the
we
algorithms.
appreciate it. Exactly. And we do appreciate follows, hearting the videos, and thumbs up if you're over on YouTube as well too, because that really helps us out.
Yeah.
It's a really fast and easy way to give back if you've gotten something out of this. So we appreciate the
Yeah.
support. Okay, now what's
It's
this
so
picture
cool.
here?
It's so cool. That was like after or during the ceremony. But I love looking at that because I could see my own happiness in the moment,
Yeah.
and I know that I can't see anything right there in that picture. I can't like I can't see, and I'm still smiling like I can see everything that's in front of me,
Yeah, no glasses. I know I have to put mine on so I can really get, yeah, no glasses,
Yeah.
but so happy. So
Yeah.
happy. Isn't there's something really beautiful about that? It's very sweet.
Yeah, yeah, I love that photo. Such an amazing capture of exactly how I was feeling, and Janice too,
Ah,
I think.
So beautiful, and to be surrounded by, that kind of beauty with the leaves and the flowers and how that
Oh
was all
God,
set up.
and like
Just beautiful.
spontaneously, the whole staff, like they put together this altar. Like I don't know, the picture with Davy Joe, you could see there's like an altar, and like it was. I mean, listen, I couldn't have asked for anything better. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you
That's a
can't really see
beautiful
it
way to
behind.
get married. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it's
it
so
was.
sacred. It's very sacred compared to maybe the more traditional versions. Not that I'm knocking them, but this is there's some just it's beautiful. I'm so happy for you
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like that's the beauty of it, right? Like I could
Hmm.
look back and be like, oh my God, like we really intentionally created that, what you're looking at right there. And we didn't know it was going to look like that, right? We were just like, let's get married. We didn't know that it would have this energetic like essence to it, you know? But I guess
Yeah.
now, of course it does.
Of course it does. I know.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy for you both. So this
Yeah,
is just
thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
And it's been close to a year, right? We're getting kind
Yeah,
of
July
close.
11th,
Okay.
Seven.
July
Oh,
7th, July 7th.
July 7th. Yep,
I
we're
don't say
getting pretty
11th. Oh, we
close.
came back the 11th.
So, and how has it been since then? Like since you got home, like were you already living together before?
No, we weren't living together, and Janice's son was, I think, probably 12 when we started dating.
Okay.
So now here he was about 18, and Janice and her son moved in to the home I live in already.
Hmm.
I had an extra bedroom, so he has his own bedroom, and um, I can only speak for me, and then I'm gonna step back and let Janice speak a little bit. Um, I feel like I have a whole new life. I mean, I have a family. Like, Janice and Jeff are my family. Um, you know, I, it's interesting because I never really kind of stepped into like a stepfather role, right? Because we were dating. We weren't married. I was just the male presence. Um, but like he's grown up into such a good kid, and I'm so like proud of who he is and how he navigates the world compared to how he did 7 years ago. You know what I mean? Coming
Yeah.
from, the situation that they were in, Um,
Yeah.
and so for me, how is it? It's like I feel like I stepped into an alternate universe, like a reality, like a new reality where I have an amazing, loving family that I love. You know what I mean? And we have such a
Mhm.
great dynamic as far as we have such a great dynamic as far my screen all of a sudden went to screensaver. Um, as far as the family goes, I think there's a little bit of a traditional family vibe to it, and then there's also a bit of a modern family vibe to it. Um, and that's what I think. What about you? How's it been for you the last year?
Um, there's a joke, and it's kind of like when you have a birthday. How does it feel to be 30? Same way it felt at 29, just a new day.
That's so true.
So there is a little bit of difference, but it's normal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just normal. It
Were
doesn't
we able
feel.
to navigate, like, which way you put the toilet paper on the thing, backwards or forwards,
I
like
just
all those?
correct it.
Yeah, we both walk around just making it the way we like it, and then if and it balances out because you know we're
I
both
had
pretty
to
chill.
ask.
No, that is an actual fight.
That's
So not here, but it is an actual fight for many
well,
couples. It's
if
like,
if it's going backwards, it's hard to get from underneath, and you can't see the
yes,
pattern
it
in the same
is.
way. Yeah, so it's
Yeah, I
but
think
some people
we're
do it
both.
that way, and it's very
Yeah,
strange.
I think we're both
we're both
overs.
over the top rollers. Yeah,
Well, that helps,
yeah,
right? But then there's are you okay if someone just sticks it on the counter? If you're just like too lazy to put it on
I'm
the thing
not
and you just
that crazy. I'm not that crazy. I know women who are. I
there's
am
some people
not.
that
I'm not. It's not
she
next
was
to
at
my.
first. She was at first.
I'm crazy about Not with the toilet paper, but just in other areas. I'm very picky about other things, and I'm fine doing those things because if you don't do them my way, you're doing them wrong. So just let me do them. Um, or do them
Spoken like
yourself.
a wife, this is how it is. Well, it sounds like you two have settled into your roles quite nicely. So well
For
done.
sure. For sure.
Oh, I love that for you. That's wonderful too. And do you two ever have a chance to create together? Kind of like with like your healing business and your mediumship, because you're both spiritual, right? So is there
Yeah.
opportunities? Because I know you have gone live together a couple of times, so that's helped, right? Too. So where you guys to
Sure.
kind of get to kind of merge your
Yeah,
occupations a little bit.
I mean, I built Janice's website, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
I help her with her graphics, although she has truly stepped into that as well. Like she started doing her own stuff, and the biggest thing for me, and I said I was going to stop talking, but I guess I just talk. The biggest thing for me was the live stream of consciousness was something that just happened, right? Like I never ever set out to be the host of a show. I produce shows for other people. I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy. I've always been behind the camera, very intentionally, not in front of the camera. And when I started doing the live stream of consciousness, that came from Jesse Blaze, um, D. Snyder's son. I was doing a class for him. He was doing the 13 universal laws according to Jesse Blaze. And it was like 13 weeks of the law of one, the law of duality. Like, he took it from a lot of like Hermetic and Kabbalistic, you know, beliefs and systems. Um, but then when he was done, he's like, oh, and it was during COVID. So that was the reason that we were doing it as a broadcast. He couldn't do it live in the wellness center that he was working at. And then when he was done, he's like, I want to keep doing this. Let's do more. And why don't you come sit and be my co-host? And if you know Jesse Blaze, he's got enough charisma for 10 people.
Energy.
um big energy. So I was like, oh, this will be easy. I just got to sit there and smile and I'll look cool, but once I sat in this role of having these conversations, and Jennifer, you know this, I was immediately, I felt like I was supposed to be sitting in that seat.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because Jesse, God bless Jesse, but Jesse is more like Russell Brand. So Jesse doesn't need a guest. Jesse can just talk, by
Yeah.
himself and do his own thing. Um, and I was like, oh, Jesse, we gotta let the guests talk. We gotta and so I was holding him back. And I was also growing at the same time, and he moved out to the West Coast, and it just happened that he's like, why don't you take over the show? And I started
Oh,
doing the live stream
wow.
of consciousness. But that was the long story and history of the live stream of consciousness. But doing my show, I think Janice observed something about it, and it took me out of like a comfort zone, and it helped me to navigate other relationships, right? And other conversations that I was
Hmm.
having in the world. And I think I, again, here's where you could speak, but amazingly, one day Janice was like, "Oh, I'm doing a show," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And she decided to create
Yeah,
her
because
own
you have a
show.
podcast, Janice. That's
I
right.
do.
Yes.
Janice has her own podcast, and it's amazing. And here's where she's going to tell you all about
Okay.
Unique Peace.
Okay, beautiful. And I think Nancy was on that podcast, if I'm right.
Nancy was on the
Yes.
podcast, yes,
Yay.
and Lynn as well.
Lynn Juno also,
Yay.
yeah.
Woohoo.
It's Unique Peace. It's the podcast all about peace, and it was more of a calling. It's spirit pulls you to do things, and it's what you resist persists type of thing. And my guides, when I don't certain things, when I ask them to be louder, to you know basically hit me over the head with a metaphorical cast iron skillet, they don't touch me. But certain aspects, they get louder and louder and louder and wake you up in the middle of the night. That,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff. And it's like, hey,
Yes.
office hours here, people. Um, but that's really why I started it. It was a calling, a pulling to do it because I need to. I am quiet, and I do not like being the center of attention. I thought I was going to be in radio, not behind the microphone, behind the board. That didn't work out either. I never had any intentions of being in front of anything. Um, and I find myself now being placed in certain situations. The podcast gallery readings, I was very not. I'm never going to do that. And now I do them. And again, it was dragging me kicking and screaming, but it's for the better. It hones other skills. So
I love that for you. I totally, I think all three of us are the same. We never thought we would be doing what we're doing, like hosting shows. That's the one thing that was not on my radar. I was up for mediumship and demonstrating in public. I was okay with that. This would have scared the shit out of me a couple of years ago. Actually, I've been doing this 3, 4 years now, but before that, just never thought I would just too much exposure. And here we are.
well, it
So
is.
I get
It
it.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I get how that feels, but then once you do it, like it really does open you up to a whole new world, and it helps us to
It's
get to know ourselves better too. There's a journey
hmm
within ourselves because we meet so many cool people.
and a preparation and collaboration and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
she's amazing. I was when I saw her doing her shows, it was like there's this thing in our relationship is like I just
thank you,
become
Ernie. Sorry.
that's right. I just become more and more attracted to her all the time in different ways, and it's not like a physical thing. But when I saw her doing her show, and the way that she was, just navigating the conversations, which I wasn't
Mhm.
used to seeing because she is introverted, and that's fine for me. But like it was just another side of her, and there was so much passion talking about what brings you peace. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I loved she has this great question called "What's in your toolbox?" Right? And it's like, you're a psychic medium, you're all of these things, and you do all this great stuff, but like what do you do when someone comes to you in a situation and what's in your toolbox kind of thing? Um, and again, I just love watching her do it. It was just so unexpected,
Mhm.
and amazing. And she really, of course, like I helped her do her intro and stuff like that, but she didn't ask me, she was just doing it regardless of if I
Yeah.
helped her or not. And so, I just kind of
Oh, so
wanted
sweet.
to,
You're like, that's my baby. Look what she's doing. Good for her.
yeah,
That's my baby. That's so cool.
yeah,
I love
she's
it. I love
amazing.
it.
Yeah,
We had a question for you from Labyrinth Criterion. If we could get that one back on, she had a lovely question. What's something you
I
have
love
learned
it.
from past
Yeah.
relationships that you take into this relationship to help make it sparkle? That's a good question.
um, what not to do?
That's a good answer.
I guess
I
that's
come from a few very tumultuous relationships. That's a fair answer from what I've learned in the past.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, we that is very valid, because sometimes it's we learn what we want from what we don't
We
want.
don't want.
What we don't want helps us to really navigate and hone in what we do want to. And that does kind of segue into what you were talking about earlier, was that the self-love that you two built within yourselves is what made it possible for you to be this strong together right now.
a
And
million
so, but
percent.
those tumultuous relationships kind of force you to heal and love yourself more. They force you to do that, whether you like it or not. You
Yeah.
kind of have to survive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a million percent. And I think for me, um, part of that answer is, you know, I think I always I just was in relationships like for myself, not because of a selfish self-love. I think it was a lack of self-love, right? That
Mhm.
I just, I wasn't very intentional with the respect and the way that I treated my partners in the past. You know what I mean? Like I'm a nice guy, and I was never abusive or anything like that. Um, but I've had relationships where, let's say, I wasn't loyal or something like that, and lost my relationship because of the way that I treated the relationship, and I didn't respect the
Hmm.
relationship. So for
Okay.
me, it was the reflection of seeing that, treating myself that way, right? And
Hmm.
being like, okay, I need to treat this relationship with that care. And I think we had the conversation, Jennifer, about this idea of what is the perfect relationship, right? What are you looking for in somebody
Hmm.
else? And I think the idea was brief. I kind of described it as like everyone thinks that they're looking for the one, right? But there is no the one. You have to make that person the one. That's how they become the one, because they're the one for you. They're the one that you look at. They're the one
Hmm.
from your perspective. They're the one. That's how they become the one. They aren't the one until you make them the one. And I think,
Yeah, I get
yeah.
what you're saying, because we could have multiple possibilities available for us too. There's many possible relationships that could potentially be satisfying over the long term and full of love. We could have more than one soulmate, for example, too. But what you're saying is when you make the decision to devote yourself and put the energy in, that's when it becomes the one,
Yeah.
the big one.
Yep. Yep.
I
For
get it.
sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So really, really, really beautiful. And now, with your two busy work schedules, do you find time, to get away and just be together, like date nights and things like that?
Probably not as much as we should,
Not
but
as much as we should, but it's been busy. It's been busy, but to your point, yes, you have to carve out that time.
yeah. I think we do kind of the traditional meals together, you know what I mean? So we
Hmm.
we have dinner, we always sit, and we always have a show, right, that we like to sit and watch together, and we usually find something that
Oh,
we like. Right now we're watching
Soup
Superstore. We're in like the last
season.
season or so of it, and it's shows just they start going downhill after a certain point, especially like sitcoms. But I love those moments. I love, what did we watch? What was the one recently?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine was great. No, no,
No.
the serious one with the
Oh, the Monarch
the
and
aliens that took over everybody, and Pluribus.
Pluribus. Yes.
So we loved Pluribus, like, so, and I love that we can watch something that's a little out there together and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, so I think we do have those moments, but I think
yeah.
I've definitely been saying we got to get away and like go away to Aruba for like a long weekend or something like that, because
Well, you've got an
Costa,
anniversary coming up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, Costa Rica was, for me, probably the best week I've had in 10 or 20 years. And so there's so many layers of significance to that week,
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
Courtney
that's
recommends
beautiful.
board games or dice. We used to do that. We used to do
We
Yeah.
Scrabble,
used to do Scrabble.
especially with Jeff. We would play board games and do stuff like that for like
Rummy Cube.
family time. Rummy Cube. Jeff is really good at Rummy
Yeah.
Cube. Yeah,
Yeah. There is something to be said for just a quiet evening at home too, in front of the TV, because you're just together,
for
and
sure.
there is a quiet, peaceful sharing of togetherness in that. Like, it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be fancy,
yeah,
and that's beautiful too. And
sure,
sometimes we can take those small moments for granted too. The small moments are just as powerful as the big moments too.
for
So
sure.
I
I
love
think, and
that
I
for
think
you.
I think we're both like that. We're both pretty low
Yeah.
key, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think we need a lot of stimulation. Like, oh my God, what are
Hmm.
we gonna do? Where are we gonna go? But we also can enjoy that when we get to enjoy it,
Right.
like, like something like Costa Rica.
Yeah.
It was really special.
And I'm assuming that it's been a little colder where you are compared to Southern California. So now that it's warming up, we could go on some nice romantic walks and hold
Oh
hands. That'd be
yeah.
so fun.
Yeah, we took a walk down to the water the other day for the first time for the
Oh,
season. So,
oh, I love that. I must be a little psychic.
yeah,
Just a smidge too.
yeah.
Vivian had a lovely question of what legacy the two of you would like to leave. So, um, yeah, so it's kind of like it's an individual question, but it's also a question of couple want to leave too. Like
Hmm.
that kind of, oh, I love that. Like,
I
what a
love
thing
that question.
to, like, what are we going to leave as a couple? Ooh, okay.
I don't know if that's ever really been a discussion. It's kind of like go where we're not.
Go with the flow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's a very interesting question. I don't think it's one
Yeah.
where it's like I could see it if we were business together. It's like, what do we want to leave? I mean, if
Yeah.
we have a cat, um, so that's our legacy. Um,
Well, I think for me, we've talked about it before. I think there's a vision in my head, at least, of living somewhere with a much quieter lifestyle, upstate or in the mountains or in the woods or in Costa Rica. But we've talked about getting a space to live at that could also double as like a retreat space because we both know so
Mm,
many gifted people who are here, our tribe, right? The people who are on the Sacred Spiral Network, the people who are here
yeah.
to like be in service and to help other people. We both know so many people who do that and have retreats to offer. So like the idea of getting a barn or a property that's big enough to host a retreat that we can host our own retreats or rent out, you know what I mean, and help other
Hmm.
people host their retreats. I think for me, when you asked that question, Vivian, I think that's what I thought of immediately. Like just the legacy of the idea of people who are living with the philosophy of we're all in this together, not every man for
Hmm.
himself. I think we just want to leave the world in that better place, you know. So
That's
that's what I would say.
that's a beautiful space to create together. So that's kind of like our little mission statement there. I love it. So I think we just created something. Just we put something into reality. Since you're very into creating reality, so let's see
Yep.
where that goes. I love
Yep.
that too. And
Yep.
Kim
Oh,
Princess
thank you,
says
Kim.
your legacies are that you helped so many people and loved so many to remember it as wow, they were the real deal. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's
And
beautiful, Kim.
I think I want to say this because Kim, you just reminded me. I think it's so easy. It's so easy to respond to somebody, like the way I responded to Kim, right? And Kim reached out and said, "Hey, you might find this interesting." She didn't know, and I know that everybody's got an interesting story, and I just feel like that energy exchange that we had of me just saying, "Yeah, your story's interesting. Come on my show. Let's talk." Um, you know, that's the legacy right there, right? Supporting each other to the point like we're all beautiful, we're all special. Like just share that. It's so amazing when you can say that to someone and then they're like, "Oh my God, I am special. I am amazing." And then you can
Hmm.
see them just become that, right? Just because they didn't believe it before, now they believe it. And that's really, that's amazing. So I
Yeah.
love that.
Yep. I know exactly what you're saying too. So
Yeah.
I love all this, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back into the simple aspects too. So I just have this feeling, Janice, you've helped Michael to be like healthier. Would that be true when it comes to like cooking and just
I try. I do try.
So, that's always a
Definitely.
gift. It could be vice versa. Sometimes it's the guy who does all the cooking and does the healthy stuff too. But I just had that feeling she's kind of helped you there a little bit too. So that's
Definitely. Oh,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I
uh,
was totally a bachelor before she came, like as far as like
mhm.
not like bachelor life that, but bachelor life like eating habits and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like my
yeah.
refrigerator was empty before Janice moved in and now it's overflowing. So for sure,
So
for
another
sure.
change, a real positive change, and Miss Vivian saying you always remind us that we are always connected.
Thank
Yes,
you,
you do.
Vivian.
So
Thank you. And I love connecting. Just when I see your name, my vibration goes to Hawaii and comes back, and I know I'm connected by this
mine
energy.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
feel the
love that.
same way. Yeah, I love that.
Right? I love
It's
that.
the aloha vibe. It's in the infinity, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I love that too. Um, I know you're going with the flow, but is there anything like coming up or what's next, or um, are we just wanting to finish year one and then go from there, which is perfectly perfect as that is too.
Yeah.
That's perfectly perfect.
I feel like, we both are big
Mhm.
believers in everything happens for a reason. Everything
Yeah,
happens the way it's supposed to. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. So I think
yeah,
that's the where we go with the flow kind of thing. But I do feel like there's huge things happening. There's going to be huge things happening, right? And I think it's not just for me and for Janice, it's for anybody who is in that space of
yeah.
loving and knowing and not being in fear and just believing that it's possible that amazing things are coming, right? If you believe that it's possible that amazing things are coming, amazing things are certainly freaking coming. You know what I mean? Like it couldn't be anything else.
Amazing things are coming. I love that.
Yeah.
You should make a little post. Amazing things are coming.
Amazing things are. Look at this
Amazing
moment
things are
right
coming.
here, Jennifer.
I know,
Amazing things
right?
already
It's
are.
amazing. I know, it's amazing. All right. I got one more question for you guys. What advice would you want to give to individuals who are looking to get into a relationship or people who are already in a relationship who want to make it better? You can
I know
be,
what I want to say.
um, don't try so hard.
mm, don't try
I
so hard.
mean, like for me personally, I can only speak to my experience. I was not looking. In fact, I was hell bent that I wasn't going to date again until my son graduated from high school. So there was a big gap, and I was okay with that.
Hmm. Yeah. So
And
you were
it
happy with the way things were and then
were,
just welcome to change.
yeah, and then that's
Okay.
there. The Van Halen song "Love Comes Walking In."
Mhm.
Oh,
I like
I
that.
love
So
that.
when you force something, this is just in life in general, not just relationships.
Hmm.
When you force it, you're resisting it.
Ah, I like that. It's a really good way of looking at it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
when I say don't try so hard, I'm not saying don't try at all.
Yeah,
Just don't force it.
you're not saying low effort. You're saying just allow things to come as they
Yeah.
do. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
For
How about
me,
you,
I,
Michael?
I think it's don't look outside of yourself for love. Look
Hmm.
inside of yourself. Love yourself. And that's similar to what Janice is saying. Like, don't try to look for someone else to love.
Hmm.
Love yourself and be the one you want to love, right? Be the person that you want to fall in love with. And I think the person will come into your life. I know the person will come into your life. Once
Hmm.
you are, once you're that person that you want to be, the person will come, into
Yeah.
your life.
It's a very
And
different energy. Yeah, it's a very
yeah,
different energy than from looking for somebody to fulfill something that is needing to be filled within the self first. Too.
exactly,
So
And
Nancy
exactly.
says, "Run,
Yeah. I think I said
Nancy."
that.
You're so funny.
I think I said that at the beginning. I said to Janice, I said, don't depend on anybody for your happiness, right? Don't like look for
Mhm.
someone else to make you happy. Like make yourself happy, and then
Yeah,
and then you'll be able to make someone else happy. You know what I mean? Because you've made
yeah,
yourself happy, and and then
Yeah.
together you'll be able to make happiness
Then
together.
you,
You know what I
yeah, then
mean?
you have so much more to offer. Yeah.
Yeah,
When you're filled up inside too.
yeah,
It's a very different energy to work from too. So,
totally.
and it's worth the work, and I think it's worth the wait too.
Yep,
Um, because I
absolutely.
know some people, they get very desperate for it to be now, and but um, the wait is worth it, because you're going to end up with something better than you would if you didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
like you two got.
yeah,
There you go.
totally. And I think there are moments that we can create happiness together, right? Like in a moment for other people, and we can be like, look
Mhm.
at what we did. Look at, like, we can be happy
Aw,
at the happiness, right? That we're
yeah,
able to facilitate, which is why I think that's what I'm saying in the future. Like, I think a facilitator, facilitating happiness, you know,
yeah,
is the thing, I just did this amazing yoga experience with the projectors locally, and I feel like I've always looked at like retreats and people who were facilitating, like, oh, I want to do that, I want to do that, and I never really knew how. And I feel like I'm just stepping into that in my own way, being able to be a facilitator. So that's, I'm blessed, totally.
yeah. That, I mean, what beautiful moments to provide a space where people are uh, experiencing, beauty, and that it's just what we take with us when we go to spirit world is our experiences, our
Mm,
memories. And
mm,
it's like you're wanting to create a space that where people can really create
mhm.
a memory that is memorable, that they will
Totally,
take with them out. Yeah, exactly too. So
totally.
I love that. And so there is a lot of positive energy in this idea here, and this energy
Yeah,
that you're creating too. So I love that for you. So
totally.
um, well, I'm so happy for you too. And I wish you
Thank
many,
you.
many, many years of more happiness together as you continue growing in your relationship and in your marriage
Thank
and
you.
yourselves. And so I feel like it's just the beginning, and it's just like so
Totally,
much more too. Yeah. And
totally.
you're both doing such great work
Thank
for
you.
humanity and your community. And together, that makes it so much more amplified, even, so
Thank
what a
you.
gift, so by being together, it's like you amplify each other's gifts, and then have so much more. So it's like that's a beautiful mission to be already in process for you too. So
Thank you. And thank you so
so
much for even thinking of having
yeah.
us. And I mean, when you said it, I was just like, wow, yeah, I think we need that. We need to remind ourselves of what an amazing relationship we have, every once in a while. Give it the
Yeah,
credit,
I
Yeah.
know we get so used to
Yeah.
sometimes the daily routine, and then it's just like, oh yeah, that's there.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Brian. Good to see you, man. Thank you for
Yeah. Hi,
showing up.
Brian. Thanks for being here, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you.
Amazing
So
show you had tonight, by the way, too. Also, you look so happy.
the magic is in the air.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
totally.
I want to thank you both. And just a reminder, everyone, Michael will be on live tomorrow on the Sacred Spiral Network on Holding Space with our Nancy Muratala, and many other shows during the week as well. And I will be on my sister show Friday, Embracing Infinity, at 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 in the UK. And we're talking about telepathy again. So that's going to be super
Awesome.
magical and fun as well too. So I want to thank our producer, Kelly Brickle, for taking good care of us. And we're so appreciative of her for all the things she does for us. And
She's
thank you to all
amazing.
of our friends and guests who came on to support us and create the space together, because it wouldn't be this without all of our friends who come on and join and take
True.
the time to be with us too. So, and time is a valuable thing for all of us. We're all very busy. And so they made that time for us. So very, very grateful, everyone. So
Yeah.
thank you too so much. Lots of love. And I'll see you after the credits. So thanks so
Awesome.
much, everybody. Have a beautiful
Bye, guys.
weekend.
Thanks for
And we
coming.
will see you next weekend on The Love Show. Bye.
Love show.